happy August. We're finally into August, so hopefully your business and financial and personal goals are going well, trending in the right direction for the year. In today's business and financial news, let's discuss the Myers-Briggs personality of INTJ. So individuals with INTJ personality are introverted, they're intuitive, they're thinking, and they're judging. This personality type is also known as the architect. Perhaps you're watching this video because you are an INTJ. Perhaps I'm making the video because I'm one too. It's interesting because INTJs are a very small percentage of the population of all the personality types, so that makes them unique.
Do you have the rarest personality in the world? People who have the INTJ personality are like Elon Musk, Sherlock Holmes, Batman, Wednesday from the Addams Family. It's just a different type of personality that not a lot of people have.
What does this have to do with business and finance? Well, to be successful in business, it takes a variety of characteristics. And some of those include understanding your business associates. So whether you are the business owner or your employee, it's important to understand the characteristics and the personalities of those with whom you work. It's also important to understand other things like finances, strategy, implementation, but perhaps the most important thing to understand is yourself and how you operate as a business owner, as an employee, or maybe you're doing both right now. Let's talk a little bit more about INTJ. According to 16personalities.com, an architect, INTJ, is a person with the introverted, intuitive, thinking, and judging personality traits. These thoughtful tacticians love perfecting the details of life, applying creativity and rationality to everything they do. Their inner world is often a private, complex one.
So intelligence, education, knowing things is like pleasurable. We just have this curiosity that just will never stop about everything. We want to know how things work and why. We like to understand foundations of things. People will never be able to read INTJs ever. When you see Wednesday, when you see Batman and how they are, no one can ever figure them out. And if anyone makes assumptions about them, they're very likely to be wrong.
It can be lonely at the top, but if you're an INTJ, you already know this. As one of the rarest personalities and one of the most capable, architects, INTJs, know this all too well. Rational and quick-witted, architects pride themselves on their ability to think for themselves, not to mention their uncanny knack for seeing right through phoniness and hypocrisy. But because their minds are never at rest, architects may struggle to find people who can keep up with their nonstop analysis of everything around them.
INTJ, I'll bet you know that high standards are very important for yourself. INTJs are very calm, cool, and collected in their analytical nature. Sometimes they're misunderstood because, they become a little bit quiet. They're just thinking in the background. Because the INTJs are actually waiting until they have the right idea, the best idea, the strongest idea before they even raise their hand. Oftentimes, INTJs actually don't get the credit that they deserve because INTJs have a more likely chance of working alone. And as a result, when they're not fighting for their credits, sometimes they get skipped over, even though they're the ones who came up with the brilliant ideas and problem solving first.
Architects question everything. Many personalities trust the status quo, relying on conventional wisdom and other people's expertise to guide their lives. But not you, architect, not the INTJs. The ever-skeptical architects prefer to make their own discoveries. In their quest to find better ways of doing things, they aren't afraid to break the rules or risk disapproval. In fact, they rather enjoy it. Architects want to be successful, not just inventive. They bring a single-minded drive to their work, applying the full force of their insight, logic, and willpower. And heaven help anyone who tries to slow them down by enforcing pointless rules or offering poorly thought-out criticism. Architects, independent to the core, want to shake off other people's expectations and pursue their own ideas.
You have to be aware of what your strengths and your weaknesses are. INTJs are very, very capable of handling really complex information and to create structure and order out of theoretical abstractions. Unlike their counterpart ENTJs, who's much more a fan of, stepping in front of the stage to go and tell everybody what to do, INTJs are a little bit more global, big picture thinkers, and they might be a little bit back of the room type people. In other words, they're sitting in the back and they're trying to figure out what the best strategy is.
This personality type comes with a strong independent streak. Architects don't mind acting alone, perhaps because they don't like waiting around for others to catch up with them. They also generally prefer making decisions without asking for anyone else's input. At times, this lone wolf behavior can come across as insensitive, as it fails to take into consideration other people's thoughts, desires, and plans.
Nope, nope, nope.
What happens when an INTJ gets angry? Well, let me tell you, they stay calm, like kind, calm Kayla, perhaps even disturbingly too calm. Specifically, INTJs stay carefully contained. For example, an INTJ may ignore their anger or try exercise, research, hobbies, or even sleep to deal with it in a rational way. Once an INTJ feels they have overcome their anger, they may not bring it up with the persons involved. They'd prefer to forget about it and move on.
You guys are great strategists, so use that power to your advantage.
Finally, what are the top love languages of the INTJs? Remember, INTJs are both imaginative and strategic thinkers, so it makes sense that their top love language is often quality time. That's logical based on the idea that quality time, or time in general, is the only asset that you can't necessarily buy that you'll never get back. What are the others? Let's take a look. Quality time is followed by acts of service, physical touch, words of affirmation, and then gifts.
They seem very cold, and even when they're in a romantic relationship, they are either very, very sweet and loving, or they're very cold.
Why can't you understand that I'm just happy being alone? Can you see how happy I am?
And the weakness about this is we can be very arrogant and condescending. It's because we know things and we're very confident about what we know. We are extremely high achievers. We think that anything we do, we should really excel in it. We can also be very sensitive people, but we're also very logical, so our head eventually triumphs our heart. We're also very strategic, so there isn't a problem that does not have a solution, and we know that. We just have to look for it. And this is actually my favorite, and we find that INTJs are very irrational people because people don't understand what you're saying, and they think you sound crazy sometimes because they don't know what you know. So you almost sound baffling. And we are very skeptical of authority and following the crowd. We will never just follow the crowd. And we are extremely independent people. And this one's my favorite, is you can read people very easily. You know what someone's thinking, you know their personality, you can tell what maybe they have been through or what they're gonna go through in the future because you watch their patterns, you watch how they talk, and you just analyze it.